So we got, again, I'm Dan Sertiglione. We got premiered a special Holotheatre event. This is a premiere to Death Star 2 Retro League between Brad Kippel and John Carr. Brad is playing dark side versus John on the light side. And we got, like I said, this is a special live event. And we have the Invisible Man himself, the one and only, the great Garrett Larson. How you doing tonight, Garrett?
I'm doing pretty good. So, getting ready to watch some Premier Death Star 2 games and chat about it because that's what I'm here for. And it's fun.
I'm glad to have you on. Let me go ahead and fix up this really quick, as I did say that John is our light side, Brad is our dark side, and both players are coming in 4-0.
And John looks like he's on hidden base versus Brad going with Ralops.
Rops is tops, last time I heard.
It is, and this is a. I'll be curious to see the hidden base if he's going hidden base, something like hidden mains,
Mm-hmm.
which was popular at the time, but I don't see any of the docking base stuff. He's got strike planning, wise advice, and insight. So I'm not sure what he's going with, and doesn't look like he's grabbed any generals yet. And Brad with the arrest order, mob points, oppressive enforcement start. So neither Brad. Usually you'd see resistance or secret plans in that third spot for oppressive, because hidden base can run inserts.
Yeah.
So I'm a little. He might be floating it and just wanting to grab stuff right away, because hidden mains didn't usually run a lot of sense alter. Ran a little bit, but
Not a lot.
probably not a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Brad just throws an ATST pilot at the executor docking bay with the 2 force he got and pulled a couple things and got rolling. So let's see what John does. John converts Holotheatre right off the bat. Ooh.
That's kind of. I mean, it might not be as big as what we're used to in open. I mean, it now is a battleground system that he has now another system out, so it counts as the 5 systems that he needs.
Yep, because he deployed it, so it'll be one of his 5 battlegrounds, but it gives him a lot easier way to control Holotheatre and use the cancel text from hidden base, because it makes Holotheatre a battleground.
Yes. Yeah, and being able to flip the Holotheatre objective back by only controlling one site is one of the best and easiest ways to flip Holotheatre back from the 7 side.
Yeah, and being able to just go there, because he also can now just straight deploy there and try and prevent Brad from flipping.
True.
Because Brad will have to go to space to flip if John goes right away.
And
I'm a little sad John isn't playing the deck I gave him after the Nationals premiere Death Star 2.
Because the National. Okay.
It really would have been kind of fun to commentate on that Beggar's Canyon.
Oh, that
inserts deck.
I will say this again. Good job on winning that, and I believe you came in second in the Retro Return of the Jedi League as well. So congrats to that as well.
I think technically I won it. Idea Tracks last game didn't start on time.
Oh.
So ultimately,
now here's the question:
the top prizes are the same either way. So.
Well, yeah, but do you want to be the guy known as I won it, or do you want to be the guy known as I came in second?
I mean, I also won Minnesota State's a couple weekends ago, so I'm okay with whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just got to throw that humble brag in there right away.
Speaking of Minnesota State, what did you end up playing?
I went with Endor Ops, any methods necessary, flipping Endor Ops start,
Mm-hmm.
and a Hitco. He is the chosen one, running a couple Luke Jedi Knights, 3 Luke Rebel Scouts, and just lots of good Destiny, lots of battles.
So how did it feel to be Chris Kelly for a day?
I mean, I almost wore a Yankees hat, but I felt better of it. Although after my game against Tony or Tommy, where I kind of hated Boston and all the games he was playing, I definitely felt like Chris Kelly for a couple minutes. So it looks like Brad is deciding he's not too worried about John potentially coming down on him as he leaves Blizzard Scout 1 with an ATSD pilot alone.
Mm-hmm. And there, like you said, there's Lando and the Millennium Falcon going down to Holotheatre. So it's going to make things a lot harder for Brad now.
And there's an X-Wing. So I'm still not sure what John's playing because X-Wing Swarm wasn't really that great in this era.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting. Yeah, that's going to slow Brad down more than almost anything else. I think Brad was sort of hoping John wouldn't do that and would instead let him flip this turn.
Mm-hmm. Now, this Falcon can be piloted by Lando. His ability 3 adds 3 to the power. However, it cannot be piloted by Han unless he had a Sabak in the game. So that's kind of interesting. It is immune to attrition less than 5. So it is kind of a hard ship to get rid of. And being that X-Wing's there, giving it John enough ability to draw Destiny, you got to think that John's going to be sitting kind of nice. And he saves 3 force. That tells me that he might have like a spiral or some sort of like way to cancel a battle if Brad comes down with it.
But I actually expect to punch it.
Or that.
In this era, like I used to use Belden's Eye to get Lando and the Falcon and the Rebel Chewie virtual, the Chewie from Hoth 2-player game, because it was insane in QMC back in the day. You just like, fine, I'm fully immune to attrition. You can't Zuckus me. And it got pretty good there for a while.
Yeah.
Looks like Brad's just going.
He's going a little
slow and steady.
Yeah. I mean, he did just drain for 1. John ended up losing the Hojix from his hand. But Janice coming down is going to allow Brad to move some of the stuff around that he's got in his deck or in his hand.
Yeah. And Brad just lost Vader with Saber.
That's kind of big.
From hand. He lost it from hand. Either he's sitting on 2 of them, or he's thinking John is playing Hidden Base X-Wings, at which point he might run 1 or 2 Luke with Saber and or Obi with Saber, and that'd be it.
Okay. Sorry, I want to close that so no pop-ups or anything come up. I always forget that Steam is on my computer.
So it looks like John's got his 5 systems out now, or he's got 5 battlegrounds out because he dropped Coruscant.
No, Coruscant can't be 1. It's a 0.
Oh, well, no, Coruscant can't be the hidden base. It can be one of the 5 battlegrounds.
Yes, but you can't. You're not necessarily going to flip without your hidden. You can't flip without your hidden base on the table.
And he doesn't have Kessel down.
Yeah, that's
which is the big one.
I would say Kessel, Kipfix, just because they're 2 and 3 respectively.
Yeah, no, he needs both of those and doesn't currently have them.
Yeah.
So that's gonna slow him down a little bit, and I think that's why he's sort of dropping guys out.
Yeah, and
the X-Wings at Coruscant just to slow Brad down. I mean, that +2 to everything adds up real quick.
Yeah. Another X-Wing down, but this time going to the rendezvous point.
I think that one will probably move to Endor. So the other part of the Reltier system that's going to make it real tough now for Brad is John can react there from anywhere, or from all his ships can move there. So starting any sort of battle there could just be a straight suicide. Like, hey, I'll react over with every X-Wing on the deck and organized attack and say goodnight.
He can't react from the lone X-Wing at the rendezvous point.
Yeah, but he just moved it to Endor, which does, I believe, put it in range now. Yep.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to get left at the rendezvous point.
No.
So John did lose the Hujix from hand, so trying to figure out if he's got another one or what his plan is here. Because leaving that lone X-Wing at Endor, he's got to have something to move it away.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll assume John's 4-0. He's smart enough to not just leave a guy hanging out for nothing. I wonder if a couple of those 4-4s are like Kessel or Tifix, though, and he's just hating himself right now. So Brad drains at the swamp. Let's see what John...
Yep, he's going to lose 2 this turn. 1 at the docking bay, the other obviously at the swamp.
Looks like there's a... Oh, loses a Grimtash from hand. Probably not a terrible thing.
No.
Wondering if John's sitting on like a... it's a hit or something. Because he initiated the drain a little bit, and then it took him a little while to decide... took Gemp a little while to do something. And loses an X-Wing off reserve. I'm willing to bet he's got more of those.
At least 1 or 2.
Probably. That's,
Yes, so the retro is premiered at SR2, no virtual cards, all Decipher stuff. So you only play cards from the premiere set to SR2. So none of like the
there's the flip.
Ones. Yeah, there's the flip and the Boskin Houndstooth. There's it can wait. I love it.
Yeah, but he got
right
the
now,
flip off, which is.
But I mean, now, I know, but I mean, somewhere right now, Scott's smiling.
Yeah, he is. I'll be honest. I probably would have preferred a barrier, simply because if you're going to give up the flip, then you just want to go and beat the snout out of him.
Okay.
All right, he's going to have to flip here. That's going to start to add up quick.
This. I don't necessarily like the Emperor going down to the forest. He's already immune to attrition.
Yeah, I mean...
And I would have rather have seen maybe like Janus. I mean, I understand that. Like, you can move the Emperor and move Janus together. But at least put Janus at the forest because he's immune to attrition there.
Yeah, I mean... I guess I don't think it matters. You're not going to put Janus and the Emperor together because Overseen adds 1 to the Janus drain right now anyways. So there's no real benefit to that. If anything, I'd have rather seen the Emperor at the swamp just to make it even harder for him to drain or cause or fight, cause any damage. So capped at 1 because he's not flipped, so he just lost Tempest 1 from hand.
Well, it's capped at 1 and I believe it's reduced by 1.
No, well, it's reduced by 1, which was what made it 2.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's a drain of 3.
That's true. But it's capped, like you said, it's capped at 1.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, losing the Tempest 1, not that big of a deal, because, like you said, if he's only running X-Wings and a lot of EPPs, it makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Forest and an EPP coming down for John
on his own site.
On one of his own sites. I mean, just in case if there's like a battle plan or a battle order.
I think you hold on to that right now.
Yeah.
Because you can't drain. And honestly, you'd rather see. I bet that tunnel vision is to get Kiffix. I'm betting Kiffix was that bottom card in his force pile.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather see his Obi or Luke with lightsaber come down and just slice up Janice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Brad's got no force saved. He can't do anything about it. So
No.
you drop him, you take out Janice.
Okay. Or he
You
could have got that card. That's a card, really good card right now against Smog.
That's a good card for him, but he's only got 6 cards in hand right now.
Yeah.
And Brad's got no force saved and hasn't really done a lot with this force. Like, I think that's a good card. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have been my priority card.
Mm-hmm.
Although now that Brad's flipped, he can go grab anything, so
Yep.
maybe.
That's the thing.
And we see the spread, a couple more X-Wings coming out from John.
So here's a question: why don't we see that part of the game text on Holotheatre Ops on the current form of it?
Because that, in conjunction with the other stuff, the lightning fast activation and that crazy activation is so big.
Yeah.
Like, part of why that was on here is Ral Ops is kind of garbage early game.
Yeah. And yes, we have an X-Wing Assault Squadron. I love it. Why not?
I mean, I don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah.
I'm do your thing. So,
X-Wing's going over to Kessel.
which makes a ton of
Makes
sense.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's going to try and draw into something like a barrier, simply because Bosca's got to, or
Yeah. We know that
Bosca's got to come down to the same site, doesn't he? Or can Bosca come down somewhere else?
I believe he has to go down to the same location.
Lock the text and scroll up to read it. Can wait. Oh, that card may deploy for free.
Yeah. But I think it's in the. I think it's somewhere in one of the rule books. I'm not sure, Mike, but that would be kind of funny to. I want to ask him at some ask him that if he remembered a Luke in his deck, or not.
Yeah, I mean, Bringing Before Me was the only reason that Beggar's Canyon deck had a Luke in it. It had one Luke Jedi Knight, and I was running numbers. It's just like, you just have one just in case.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you needed.
Yep. Unless you're Matt Sokol.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matt was just that good.
23 years later, and still people talk about that. That says something.
So John going with the organized attack loss to go grab himself 3 X-Wings.
Yep, and there'll be hell to pay.
He lost a system off reserve.
Yeah, Yavin 4.
I mean, Yavin doesn't really matter.
No, Kifix is the big one.
Kifix is the big one if he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out, like, if he doesn't have it, what did he do with it?
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, he's facing down drains, a drain of 5 this turn total. So, I mean, do you... Okay, we see
4. Because Overseen won't add at the Emperor's site.
So it's 1 at the Forest.
Forest is -1 from projection.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh,
yeah, and Overseen is at related
goes,
sites. Sites aren't related to themselves.
Okay.
So it's 0 at the Forest.
0 at the Forest, and then
2 and 2.
2 and 2. But now that he has flipped,
it'll be 0.
It's 0.
But he moved away from Holotheatre, which tells me he may not have any ground ability to go flip him back.
Mm-hmm. And he's
because he left the swamp there. Like, John could have literally dropped any numpty at the swamp and
flipped back. Yeah,
flipped him back and said, "All right."
But the thing
make
is,
this
like,
happen.
We know that the Boskin Houndstooth is in the hand. I don't think he wants to risk losing much to that. Oh, he converts Coruscant back. That's big.
That's big.
And Bosk and Houndstooth going down to Kessel, so I guess it can deploy anywhere. Will we see another It Can Wait?
I don't think so, because he's got to pay for an organized attack, too, just in case.
Yeah.
I think he'd rather... There's the barrier.
That's a good one. And there's another There'll Be Hell to Pay.
Yep. There's another grabber.
Yeah. If it's got 3 dots in it, why not play 3?
I mean, that's kind of what it seems like. There's no reason not to, and there was always so many abusive recycling interrupts that would get played that being able to just grab everything felt good. I know when I played in the retro, I played 3 grabbers and started organized attack, and basically, like, if you play anything that was going to be mildly obnoxious or a high destiny cycle, I'm grabbing it just because.
Okay, so he does Probe Castle. It is not the hidden base. He then adds Officer Evax and Lieutenant Cobble onto the Houndstooth. I like Evax because he's forfeit
1 million. Well, and Cabble's forfeit 6, and I believe Evax is a leader. Yep. So then...
Oh, that's insane.
So now it's Destiny -1 there as well, or the total battle Destiny.
Yep.
Honestly, it's going to be tough to get rid of the Tooth. Like, yeah, it's got no immunity, and there's...
And Lieutenant Arnett.
There's another forfeit 6.
And
like
another And there's an It Can Wait.
Arnett's not a leader.
He's not?
He's also only forfeit 5. I thought he was a 2-4. He's a 2-3, so...
You're saying that a lieutenant is not... Oh, wait, no, that makes sense. He must be a butter bar. A little military humor.
All right.
Lieutenant... So,
there's an ATST pilot to...
Going down to the swamp. I mean,
get the total Destiny +4.
Yep. And again, the
Red Panda draw
was barriered, so
yeah, but he's got so much force he can.
Mm-hmm.
He's got so much forfeit there, and the Battle Destiny is getting +4. Like,
yeah, it's going to take at least 2 X-wings.
I mean, he's going to have the... Yeah, it's a couple more X-Wings and an organized attack.
So the X-Wings, when you deploy the Assault Squadron, where do they go?
Used.
Okay. So he doesn't have those. He has the ones...
That Coruscant
he
turned into a Draina 0. That's so brutal.
What, 2 from 2 to 0? That's insane.
Yeah. That is brutal. He's got to figure out a way to flip him back. Like, that ATST pilot is alone.
I know.
Like, I just wonder if John has no ground guys to go after him. Like,
but you got to think that he's got like some sort of answer just in case.
You'd think he might just be saying, "All right, Brad, I'm gonna force you to have the GIC."
And here we go. Well, that's a lot of.
I'll force you to show it. That's a
bunch of X-wings. We got.
That's a pile of X's there.
6 X-wings.
I'm pretty certain that many X's says he wins at tic-tac-toe. So
I was going to say, what is this? Boss Pilgrim versus the X-wings?
Yeah. So I'm a little sad we're not seeing an assault squadron there, though, just because. I mean,
but
John's just emptying his hand and saying, "I'll force you to prove the GIC."
Yeah.
And Brad might have it. Might not.
You got to think that he has it. Okay, there's another organized attack.
You got to assume he does because it's sort of crazy to...
Now it's just like, okay, you have a lot of forfeit.
He's got, what, 76, 13... He's got 18 forfeit there.
Yeah.
So right now he's down
more than
5.
Well, more than that.
No. Bosk and the Tooth plus the two dudes.
Yeah.
Is 18, so he's down 5 power total. He's getting 4 of that back from the Total Battle Destiny.
Okay, so
actually he's getting 5 of it back effectively from the Total Battle Destiny.
Yep. And
so
he subtracts 1.
Yeah, he's...
Oh,
That's fine. That still
that's still
cracks Lando's
5.
immunity.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
still cracks the Lando immunity, but still.
it cracks
That
Lando,
only
and
gets rid
you
of
wipe
2
the site, and you're
X-Wings.
fine.
But it only gets rid of 2 X-Wings.
Or just Lando.
Or
At
just
that
Lando.
point, I think you just use Lando. There's no...
I mean, Lando's what? I mean, they're both power 6. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's 1 ship versus 2.
Yep. Okay, there goes Evax.
So
there goes Cal.
he's got to lose 2 force. Like, Brad's
I
not...
think you hold on to the Gick, too. Like,
yeah, oh, you don't waste the Gick over
No.
2 force. It effectively, Gick saves you 1 force if you play it there.
Yeah.
That's a terrible trade. So John's going to have to just spread out a little bit here. I mean...
And hope.
I guess he doesn't have to. There's no drains there. Like, frankly, you can just move the ships off Coruscant to Holotheatre.
Yeah.
Just to threaten something, and...
Yeah. I think he has to, because it's not a... There's no drain.
It's also not a battleground, so he can't use it to cancel a drain.
Yep.
That was a mistake. I don't think he saw that, because he just drew without moving them.
So
I think he's going to expect to cancel.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, I agree.
So he's going to eat 4 damage here.
Yeah.
Now, Foster Cat's deciding he wants me to pay some attention to him. So
don't.
He is quite demanding and forceful. We had him as a kitten, and he just moved back. Was surrendered because he needed a fairly expensive surgery that his surgery, and he needs special food, and his owners kind of freaked out at the potential cost and surrendered him back to the rescue. So he came back here because I had him as a kitten, and he got big. He's almost 14 pounds now, which is bulky for a cat.
I will say, like, I don't want to get into a tangent, but all I know is tomorrow I got to take one of my little friends to the vet. Okay, so Brad's using 2 force to take any card from his reserve deck. I think he's going to have to go get
before he drains.
Yeah, and we know that he drew a Dengar in ship last turn, so it should be in his reserve deck.
And it doesn't matter because John doesn't have enough to pay another organized attack anyways.
Well, not only that, I mean, I think he deploys the Dengar to, like, Hoth or Sullust or Endor at this point.
Yeah. I mean, John picked up a few, so you have to worry a little bit. Does Obscene only work if the Imperial's present?
I think so.
Oh, yep, so that's why it's only 1 at the docking bay. Okay.
So he's only losing 3.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
Oh, and it could be worse, which is cute, but
I don't know if
also means you can't barrier a ship, so
you have no force.
Barrier was grabbed. He couldn't have barriered anyways.
Yeah, but you have no force for anything at this point.
There's nothing he needs force for right now. Yeah. There's nothing let me rephrase this. There's nothing 1 force makes a difference for right now.
True.
He is...
I don't know.
Barrier or organized
Every
attack that he'd want to play
matters.
Would cost more.
Ooh, okay, we got a Dreadnought heavy cruiser. I like
going to Endor.
When was the last time you saw somebody play a Dreadnought?
It's been a minute. I'll give him that. So
okay, the Dreadnought does probe. It does not hit.
Yeah, but this way he can move it to Sullust.
It's got to be Hoth.
Honestly, Holotheatre would not shock me because he pushed it out real quick. It's a fun one to put there
because he's playing against Ralops.
That doesn't really matter. Honestly, it was the worst system to drop at that point because it gave him 1 icon instead of 2.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it didn't give Brad an icon, but Brad didn't need the force right away. And it's also a fun one because of your ships can all react there.
Mm-hmm.
It means if he moves to it and probes it, and your guys are there, it becomes a nasty spot for him to battle. And there he drops the ATST pilot out of the walker.
Smart.
Because he wants that +1 with overseen, and
notice he didn't drain all any other locations. So
he drained at the 2. He got a drain of 2 off and a drain of 1.
No, he didn't.
Did he forget? You're right, he did.
Yeah, because the top card's Lando.
You're right. He did forget.
And he plays
That
all
was a
wings. Oh, that was a little bit risky there. He plays all wings to get an X-wing, not to retrieve.
uh, he might have another one. He might have another way to retrieve.
Yeah.
You know,
But I mean,
that's
if there was a grabber, that's what
you certainly have more than one all wings.
I don't know. I think Timo only had one in the one retro event.
Oh, I would definitely. That's a card you run two of just in case.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want to, if you happen to lose it somehow,
Yeah.
you don't want to just be like, well, I guess I lose.
Yeah.
So,
So
like the numbers right now are really close because Brad's got so many cards on table.
Yes.
But
Well,
Brad's
I mean,
in a much
they
better
both
position
kind
right
of
now.
do.
Okay. You need to move away from all the power cords, buddy. Let's
So he
decided he
so he activates 3 and then plays another organized attack to get some more X-wings.
he's going to try and jump that dreadnought.
I don't see why, because I mean there's again a lot of forfeit value up there.
Yeah, and you can't burn through.
No.
Your destinies are bad. His are really good now just because it's +4.
Yeah.
So like anything you do against that dreadnought, you're giving up 2 X-wings immediately.
Yep. At least.
So I don't love the.
I think
it's a drain of 2 he wants to probably block them off of as well.
I wouldn't mind putting the X-wings down there to just block the drain of 2.
Yeah.
But again, there's no way he can put into it.
And especially not with 3 organized attacks already grabbed.
Yeah.
Like he can't deploy enough X-wings and pay for organized attack.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to just sit.
Yeah. Okay, there goes another Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, and an altar as well. And the X-wings are going down to Sullust.
Which makes sense. You block that drain, and that's fine. And here's the probe on Sullust, which is not it.
Not it.
So, like I said, I'm still sticking with its routes here.
You know what?
I think that'd be a cute play. It'd be an interesting play.
Yeah, the more that you talked about it, the more you convinced me.
I'm really good at guessing other people's hidden bays. So,
yeah,
it's one of the single most useless talent.
Yeah,
so I said something about it. I mean, I told the boss about it in an interview, and he was not the least bit impressed. So this is where the
and he initiates. I mean, I don't like this because
I mean,
unless you know what your destiny's going to be,
alter on the projection, which makes sense.
Yeah, make it.
And there's no reason not to.
Oh, and there's another ship too.
Oof. Brad's down to 1 card in hand, although now Brad's going to be able to go get that with his objective. Yeah, but Brad's going to be able to go get that with his objective.
True, and that's the important thing.
And John can't move the ships that are at course. That 5's cute, but like,
what does it do?
What are you gaining out of this? I don't.
You get rid of one thing. Search and destroy.
And you lose 2 X-wings.
Really good.
Search and destroy would be game.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
And I think
John able to take that out.
Realizes that. I mean, once he loses 2 X-wings here. Brad loses 2 characters, and the dreadnought runs away. Like he did nothing. Heck, Brad could actually. I was going to say Brad could lose 3 cards because he like right now he's got board game estate and he's got deck advantage.
Yeah, he's got a huge board advantage right now.
Yeah,
like
I would. You know what? Being that there's only 3 X-wings there, like what John's going to.
I'd deploy in battle.
Yeah, I was going to say there's. He's gonna. I'm assuming he's gonna have 1 X-wing there.
Now he moves it to Holotheatre.
I don't like. Yeah,
Brad's got 1 card in hand, and he can go get really either Search and Destroy or Boba Fett and ship.
I'm going to get Search and Destroy at this point.
I think Search and Destroy is the play. I think you go Search and Destroy and run it out.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be draining one.
But he's not flipped
He's
yet,
ju-
so he's going to get 3 damage through if he runs his drains.
Yep.
Because John will cancel 2 of them.
Yep.
And he'll
then
lose
once you
1
get-
to the
once you-
Emperor drain and 1 to one of the other drains.
Yeah, so he's going to be losing. If you get to Search and Destroy, that's 5 cards, essentially a turn.
Yeah. Oh, the Search and Destroy would be absolutely brutal.
4-turn clock.
Search and Destroy is... Search and Destroy would have been why John would have held on to a Forest and a dude with lightsaber.
Yeah.
But he's down to 1 card in hand. He clearly doesn't have that.
I mean,
And I don't know what he does here.
yeah.
Like, I actually do think that Search and Destroy is a better... I would love to see Boba and Ship and just wipe out those X-Wings at Sullust.
Or go to Holotheatre.
Because, well...
You don't have ability there, do you?
No. He's only got ability 3 with the X-Wing, so yeah, you could wipe out the squad, too.
Heck, you could go to Coruscant. I mean,
Wipe out
there's
the
no point.
squad... Why?
I
Leave
know.
Coruscant
I
alone.
know.
Like-
I know. Leave Coruscant alone. That's the smart play. I'm just saying he has so many options at this point.
Yeah. You go to Holotheatre, you wipe out the squad, you probe Holotheatre,
Yeah.
and you move
And
the
you move
Dreadnought
the
to
Hoth.
Hoth,
Yep.
and you've got it one way or the other. And honestly,
and
like I said,
John,
I think it's
John can't
Holotheatre.
do anything at this point. Like
Yeah.
he can't.
John can't
play
stop him.
Barrier. He can't play it. It could be word, or it can wait. There is nothing he can play at this point to stop any of the things. And there's the Boba Fett.
And there's the Boba Fett, and I think we'll see the Holotheatre probe.
Yep.
Because again, with no force, he also can't take advantage of the reacting text on Holotheatre.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I like going to get the Search and Destroy more because that still leaves you a card in your hand.
It was not Holotheatre. Oh well.
Oh, I told you, Hoth.
Well, obviously now.
Hey, I told you. I told you. He was like, oh, he's going to go to
Yeah.
Solist. I'm like, no, go to Hoth. It's Hoth.
Yeah. So.
Calling out the hidden base, my butt.
See this? That's probably my boss is probably watching this and like,
Ooh, and a Destiny 6 is going to become a 10?
ooh, that's a bunch. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's just the X-wing. The X-wing squadron forfeits for a dozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the squadron, and that's fine. Like, but now he can also consolidate the Dreadnought and Boba Fett at Hoth.
He doesn't need to. John has 1 card in his hand.
I'm not sure what it could be. No, I think you still consolidate. There's no need not to.
I get, well, yeah, you drain for 2 and you drain for 1 next turn.
No, you consolidate just in case. If John's last card is something like an
Batmouse would not. And last thing he did, and last time I heard, dude went to, double back-to-back top 4s this year.
Yeah, I know. I think Batmouse would consolidate. The risk of not consolidating is low, but it's not 0.
What card in his hand? I don't think that there's no Han chewing the Falcon in this format.
An organized attack. Pay the 4, go get 3 X-Wings, and jump the Dreadnought for Dreadnought plus a couple.
Okay. I mean, he's already played 3. What are the chances he's got 4?
Again, I think we're all in agreement that the odds are very low John could do something to him.
Yeah.
But the chance isn't 0. Yeah. It looks like John did not bother draining at Kessel. I've seen a lot of things. Oh, no, John drained at Kessel.
Yeah, he did drain.
Lost Zuckus and Igar. I was too busy arguing with you. So.
And look, there's the hidden base. It is the Hoth system.
All right,
So
you were
he
right,
gets
Dan.
2 tramples, an altar, a Tempest 6, and a Tempest Scout 5, all going back into his deck. Life Force right now is 23 to 17 in favor of Brad.
And Brad's got massive board control.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
I mean, I think if you're Brad, like you were saying, just consolidate. And I think he activates 2 next turn and grabs the Search and Destroy in this game.
If he activates 2, he's going to activate the search and destroy.
It's going to be close.
In all likelihood. He had, I think.
No. You put
he
you
has,
use mobile. No, he already used mobile points.
I think he used Janice, so it might be.
It might be.
He might have already gotten it, but it was down because he only had I think he activated down and left 3 cards in reserve. One of them was the Palpatine that he drew for Destiny. Yeah. But then I think he Janice twice. So my guess is he should already have the Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
So, yep, he moves off of Coruscant, but that's too little too late. Yeah. None of this matters right now. And, moving guys to Holotheatre.
It's cute.
Why? Leave them so you can react over there if you need to.
Yeah, I was going to say, moving one X-Wing to Holotheatre and then moving the rest, putting the rest at, Endor.
I will say an all-wings combo would be really good if he's... Or not combo, all-wings non-combo would be really good right here if he's got something to follow it up with. Yeah. I'll be honest, I've spent 15 years saying all-wings combo because no one played the non-combo, so...
Yeah.
Save 5 force. I think he might be sitting on another organized attack.
Organized attack wouldn't be bad here.
If Brad battles,
Spiral
but there's...
wouldn't be. I see no reason for Brad to battle, considering he's about to do 7 to...
Yeah, if I'm Brad, the last thing I do is battle. I'll activate a bunch, pay 2 to grab something, drain for 7, and move to Sullust and say thanks for playing. After I drop Search and Destroy. Yeah. There's no...
I mean, you don't even need to move to Sullust. You can move to...
No, you move to Sullust. Sullust is a drain of 2. You force John to follow you and spend that force.
Well, the reason I'm saying you don't move to Sullust is if you go to one of the 2 non-battlegrounds, then you don't run the risk of John dropping a bunch of guys on your head.
With Boba Fett there, you're not worried about John dropping a bunch of guys on your head.
I know.
I mean, John can drop 20 power.
Yep, there goes an It Can Wait from his hand to the first drain.
So, John can, best case scenario, drop. Now it's less than that. And 20 you don't care about.
S-Foils goes that. I mean, S-Foils would have been good many turns ago.
And there went the spiral from hand. Yeah, John. Yeah. What I really want to see is, does John have any guys?
And that's what it comes down to. If he would have had any EPP, Luke with Saber would have been amazing. Obi-Wan with Saber would have been good. Even Leia with gun would have been fine.
Leia with gun, I don't think would make it into the deck. Luke with Saber, I'm a little surprised not to have seen them yet. But 2 copies of Luke with Saber, just to keep him honest. Luke with Saber against that lone ATST pilot would have been good.
Yeah.
All right, you chop him up.
Yeah.
And cause some overflow and call it a day. Even with the attrition -2, you're still running some overflow on him.
Yeah.
And you at least shut down Search and Destroy for a turn or 2 if it comes down, and you force Brad to do something on the ground. Right now, he's completely ignored the ground.
Rebel Fleet would have been another good card. If he would have been able to get all those, and there's
the Search and Destroy. It's just too little too late here for John to have it. Even if John has something now, it's too little too late. If he's got the EPP Luke now, okay.
Well, here's the other thing. If you go against the ATST pilot, he just reacts with the Blizzard Scout Walker.
That's fine, but it doesn't draw Battle Destiny on its own. He still doesn't get a Battle Destiny. So you kill the ATST pilot, and then any Battle Destiny kills the Walker. Maybe you don't overflow him, but then you've killed the Walker as well, which is also good.
Yeah, and there he goes, moving to the Dreadnought and Boba Fett over to Sullust.
Moving to Sullust to make John follow you, and John loses Kiffix from reserve.
Yeah, he's got.
I wonder if that Kiffix was the one card, that bottom card of his force balance. He just could never get to it.
Yeah,
and realized correctly that he couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah, once we saw the overseeing it personally, it was...
Yeah, he had to get going quickly. So...
And I will say this, a little bit more space than what I would assume from Brad. Normally you see, we see the Boba Fett in Slave 1, you see the the Basket Houndstooth. You see the second is a Miss Hunter, but
The Dreadnought's
the
really the
Dreadnought was a
only.
surprise, a little bit of a surprise. The Dengar in ship, again, a little bit of a surprise. Maybe just because you're worried about a home one.
Yeah, and that's what I think you're worried about. Some sort of home one or the organized attack. Like, that's the thing is the Dengar ship is nuts against X-Wing Swarm.
True.
You know, you're like,
okay, I like that. Dagobah Cave.
X-Wing Swarm, you're just like, oh, okay, well, I'll drop Dengar and Punishing 1, and
Yeah.
my total battle destiny is now plus, 12 or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so he loses Dagobah Cave and a Tempest Scout 3, both from hand.
Yeah, he's just pitching the cards that don't matter.
Yeah, it's
look for Force Lightning.
It's 21-10 right now in favor of Brad.
Yeah, and John's got one card in hand, and he needs 2 to have any chance of winning this game. He needs a EPP with stick, and he needs an all wings. And right now, he doesn't have enough to do anything. And like even now, an EPP with stick would be a little dangerous now, just because.
Oh, he's got no force save.
He doesn't have enough to battle. Like he can't kill anything.
Yeah.
And I think this is over.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I don't think this is a great matchup for Hidden Base. I mean, we saw in the Premier Special Edition tournament that Hidden Base struggles when you get that global drain -1 going.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, that was also Timo. Like, Timo won that first game. Like, if he did not win that, in the finals at least, if he did not win that first game by the amount of force that he did and how he won, I agree. Like, it would have been a struggle for him.
Well, Timo lost the first game in the
No, he didn't.
finals. He lost to that. The Korlog
right.
Ops lost to the Throne Room.
That's right.
Deck. Like, it's.
Look at me, I'm just talking out of my. Oh yeah.
No, the Korlog Ops was.
What am I thinking? It was the
spreading
semifinals. It was the semifinals. Yeah.
Korlog Ops was really good against the Hidden Base X-Wings because again, it just shut your drains down.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, you get the 3 systems you can drain for a total of 5, and if they can get to you in space, that you can't really do a lot.
Okay, so we do have a GG.
There's the GG.
And so Brad Kippel will take this game to remain undefeated at 5-0.
John's a somewhat still new returning player. I know he traveled up to Minnesota for Nationals to play in the Throwback event just because, and he's trying to get a community going down in Florida, so it's a good. He's a good guy, and I hope to see him at Worlds. Hope to see people out there. That's a good time for a cheap plug for Worlds.
I was just about to say that.
Just over a month away in New Jersey, somewhere. All of Jersey's kind of the same to me, so we'll just say it's somewhere in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
I'm flying into Newark. That's as much as I know.
Worlds will be August 10th through the 13th in Morristown, New Jersey. Sign up. The registration link is working. You can either by clicking either the weekend pass or the main event only. Go get yourself a room if you can. The surprise support's looking
rooms
really good.
Might be a little bit sold out.
Yeah.
So, but prize support's looking amazing. That the 6-pack cooler those are so nice. Like just having a few of those floating around is awesome.
And then make sure you sign up in 13 days for the Road to Worlds. That will be a good practice if you're going to Worlds.
You can sign up for those at the same time.
Yep.
And just pay the PayPal once. I can tell you, speaking from experience, I'm already signed up for both of those.
It's $5 to play in the Road to Worlds. It's always a fun little event. Good prizes. Really fun event. The OCS is still going on. Connor is sitting up in first. He's 8-3. Tom sitting at 7-5. He is the first one finished this month, not Timo Dussel.
I mean,
Surprise,
he
surprise.
did have the holiday weekend for Tom that Timo didn't have.
True.
That he could throw it, throw it through there. I mean, I haven't even started OCS for this month because I spent the holiday weekend up at a family's cabin swimming and hanging out. So I gotta
And
get some of those done. But it's nice. I only have one tournament to be playing this month instead of trying to get the Return of the Jedi stuff out as well. So
and make sure you guys do take to the forums, as there should be an announcement later this week regarding Holotheatre Ops. That has become a hotbed of topic. European Championship again is September 8th through the 10th out in Bochum. If you're a European, make sure you sign up for that. Don't believe the link for that is up there yet. And then again, the Endor Grand Prix is October 27th through the 29th. Garrett, you going to go to that?
I am not. I'm going
Garrett,
to Worlds
you should
instead.
go to that.
I should, but I also should pay my mortgage, and they're real picky about me paying that every damn month.
You should go to that because that's my birthday weekend.
I know, and I'm sad. I think my wife bought a lottery ticket on the way home, so if that hits, you'll see me at Endor.
I also bought a few lottery tickets, so if that hits, I'm paying for your flight.
Fair enough. You know what? If mine hits, I'll pay for my own flight. So I might buy you a beer for your birthday.
Oh, thanks.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up. The prizes for Worlds are awesome, and Worlds is just such a great time just to see people and get to hang out and watch. We could we got about 5 minutes left. We could throw up that OCS game right now. And
Connor Britton versus Wayne Cullen.
Yep, the
we'll end
for the Droid General.
Yeah, the
versus
new
Walkers.
light-size objective. So, have you played the new objective? And give me a hot take on it, if you played it.
I've played against it a couple times. My hot take on it, and it's not lightning hot. I don't like weenie decks. I like the idea behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I hate having to put down a bunch of little guys and watching a single Lord Maul or Vader with Saber or somebody take out 2 or 3 right away. Like I hate.
That's fair.
I hate inefficient trades,
mm-hmm.
and weenie decks always feel like they're inefficient trades.
That's fair. Now I will say this: the deck has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage very fast. If it's left alone, and you're not playing against the Imperial Decree deck, non-V, it can get really quick.
Yeah, and I mean, it can.
As we are currently seeing right now.
Pour through a bunch of damage.
Yeah. Connor right now,
Connor's got non-V Decree out, so.
He does. The biggest concern that I have is right now Wayne occupies more battlegrounds than Connor. So at the end of every turn, Connor is going to lose 1 force.
Yeah.
Granted, he's only going to take drains of 1 and 1, and it looks like battle plan is on the table, so Wayne will have to pay for them.
And is he going to have that?
That's
like I really think. Well, I guess even if he moves to the 4th marker, he's not going to move to the 4th marker. So yeah, he's going to ping a force. Like their force count's really close. That 14 down and 7 in hand versus 18 and 5.
Yeah. So there you see, like Connor just lost Grand Admiral Thrawn to the ping from the objective, and it's on the 0 side of the objective, but it's in play the entire game. Like that. Yeah. That I kind of like because it does encourage the game going faster.
I like ways to make your opponent lose force,
mm-hmm.
and I like ping damage as opposed to trying to go for big chunks,
mm-hmm.
because it
And,
incentivizes playing differently. Like you don't want a massive drop and drain, lose huge chunks of things to like a tattooing occupation for 7 or whatever. But
so Connor loses 1 to the ping damage from a good blaster at your side. I mean, if he would have had a blaster on either Mace Windu or one of the 2 other characters, that would have been ping of 2.
Yep. And I like the pings. Come and go away. So I like the idea of the deck. I don't think it's a bad deck. You're definitely not hearing me say it's not a deck that can win. It's a deck that I'm not sold on weenie decks. They have to play it's hard to make those valuable trades.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can recover your clones eventually, but it's not a gimme. So
that's fair.
It's good. It's definitely got decks it's better against.
Oh, that's only drain of. So that is a drain of 1 over there at the 4th marker as well. Yep. So I mean, right now, excuse me, Connor is out damaging Wayne. It is 2 damage from Wayne to.
So 2 damage from Connor, unless you start paying for drain. Well, if Connor pays for drains.
Yes. Yeah.
But if Wayne paid for drains, he'd be equal on damage. There could be 1 difference on damage.
The big issue is that the Imperial Decree is in play.
Yeah. The Decree being in play is really big, although it looks like Wayne's getting another gun on another trooper. That's going to start to add up real quick.
And yeah, those guns actually can do a lot to walkers.
Yeah, I mean, they can actually target walkers, which is big.
They target them, and then
they target at +2. Yeah.
So, putting a gun on Anakin would be very good here.
I mean, kind of what you're saying is why I also said I don't love walkers right now. It's just a straight line deck.
Yeah, but
like what you're doing. Your opponent knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you're not going to. There's Commander Cody as well. So
I like the Cody
Wayne's just
there.
saying this is my site.
Yeah, because now
which I think is good.
Yeah, and the Cody actually would cancel a Battle Destiny. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cody move in front of the Blizzard 4.
Then he's just going to get chopped by Mara.
Well, you got to think though, he's got some. If he has an answer for the Mara, that's the thing. If he has an answer like a dodge or the clone armor card that gives you +1, I believe, or +2, like that card's really good. So a dodge would work.
But he's got to move 2 or 3 guys in front of Mara.
Yeah,
this is kind of what we're talking about.
And the other thing is
little guys decks.
Yes. Well, what I'm saying is, if you have the Anakin and you have the dodge, I'm moving just the Anakin because then you get a +3 to hit the Walker. The Walker's the issue. And taking away the control of that site is big because then the Imperial Decree is turned off. If you can turn off that Imperial Decree, this game is totally different.
Oh, yeah. If you can... Well... It's what? Oh, the flip side makes the drain +1. Yeah. Yeah, so then moving a gun to Anakin and walking over and just going, all right, I'm going to shoot your Blizzard.
Yep.
And I'm going to shoot Mara, but Connor's probably got a blue card in hand. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, that's the conundrum.
And if you move, that's the thing is if you move Cody away,
so you move the Obi and the Anakin then.
You move Obi and Anakin, I'd move Maul and Blizzard 1 with Veers.
That's fine.
To the 4th marker and say, let's party.
That's fine. Then you move those clones over to the 3rd marker, where you take.
That's fine. Then I control the marker. Yeah, I mean
But he has to control 2, so that's what I'm saying. So
he may still have the 6th marker floating in his hand too.
True. And that's what I'm saying. You might make him play it because one, if you make him play that, it gets him a card essentially lost from the game.
Yeah. It's you want to make him have the answers, and there's not a. Okay, looks like he's moving all three of the Cody and the two squads.
Yeah.
All right, so he'll cancel the Battle Destiny.
I mean, you.
I'm
Really
not actually sure I love that play.
You really don't care if one clone gets hit. If it's Cody, that's the worst possible one. But
Well,
Cody can use dodge.
No, you don't swing at Cody here. You swing at one of the
little two ones. Yeah.
One of the guys with the gun, and then you decline Battle Destiny to kill the gun. Because if Lightside draws Battle Destiny, and they're going to have to if they want to kill off a Walker and Mara,
yeah,
then they're going to overpower you.
Mm.
And you just decline Battle Destiny. You lock the guy in the gun there.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Because it's not. You kill one gun, you lock the other ones there at a non-battle
ground.
What?
That's what it's looking like because he only saves two.
Yeah. So there's
a lot in play here, and I like this. This is what I like about this game is because of this little chess match, and this is what I like.
I mean, it's recreating the movies.
It's not playing the game.
I remember seeing the clones take over Hoth like that. The chess match within the chess match it's
fun.
Always fun. It's not just can I guess the meta correctly and build the right deck, and make the right meta choices, but also then can I play them correctly and win the match inside it. I mean, it's
like earlier. I'm playing a game against Brad Reinhold. Is a fun game. That's a problem. Where he initiates with Ahsoka Tano and Luke, Rebel Scout, but he's only got one lightsaber under Ahsoka Tano. I've got Lord Sidious and Amara Jade. He initiates. I exclude my Mara Jade to keep her there. He ends up missing on the Palpatine. I end up so I still have the forfeit value. I only have to lose the Palpatine after the battle, and then I no escape my saber back onto the Palpatine that I have in my hand. Little things like that make this game fun.
So they doing a whole lot
of moving around,
wiggling stuff around.
I don't necessarily like just deploying Vader and Tarkin there. Like, I get why you do it. Like, why? Oh, he only
could activate to those 12. And honestly, I'm okay with Vader and Tarkin right there.
Same.
Like, if Cody or if Rex shoots.
But here now the biggest issue that I'm seeing right now is, there's answers for the choke. Like, you have to choke Rex, but but
Wayne's only got 3 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to have the answers.
He's going to drain for 3.
Yeah, he's going to get 1 drain off, but he couldn't stop that.
Now, I mean, he did turn off the ping damage from the...
he turned off the ping. He gets a drain of 3 that he has to pay for.
He's going to ping for 1 because there is a gun on the little clone trooper.
Yeah.
The other thing is Wayne's going to get a lot of stuff with the backside of the objective. If you just initiate battle, you could look at the top part of the reserve. Take it in hand or put it on the bottom. Then, if X is greater than 1, retrieve a clone armor card into hand. That's big. And X is greater than 2, your clone may make a regular move using land speed for free to a battle location. So you can move this clone over if you want it. If he fights there.
That wouldn't be a terrible play if he starts that fight, and I think he would. I think you start that fight.
I think
especially if you have an answer to the choke.
Yeah, so he does. So I was going to say he activates saving 5, but he went against that.
Yeah, a lot of reverts going on.
A lot of reverts. I mean, at this point in the game, there's so many because any little mistake is going to cost you.
And I like seeing it from both players.
Yeah.
Like they're both saying, no, this is, no information was gained.
This is how you play the
That's
game.
how you play it as a gentleman.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
so there's the paint damage from the effect, and there's the drain of 2 that becomes a 3 with the lightsaber there.
yep.
So turning off that imp decree, like I said, was really big. And then
Yeah.
all you do is like you can run Kenobi and Anakin away. You block that drain of 2 there, but I mean, yeah, there is a drain of 2 where Veers and the Lord Maul is. Oh, why did
My
Connor
guess
just
is
say
he thought he
crap?
was.
He forgot about the drain getting turned off.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything he can do about it.
No.
He wasn't going to be able to take either of those sites.
No.
So, like, yeah, it stinks. But the only thing I think he might have done is he could have thrown out resistance.
Yeah.
So, which wouldn't have been the worst thing ever.
Okay,
there's another clone, which is.
So now you're getting 3 destiny for Wayne.
Yep. And he'll be able to keep it at 2 even if Rex gets choked out because
no.
Yeah, because you move the other clone over, and Ayla adds 1 if with 2 clones.
And you retrieve 1 card into hand just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is.
So you're probably going to be getting rid of Vader and Tarkin here. You're going to lose probably your clones though.
You're going to lose probably Rex, a clone, and a gun would be my guess, depending on how the destiny works out.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to keep Ayla there with a clone, in all likelihood.
Part of the reserve deck. I will say I like the clone objective. It's different. It's very. It does seem like a very thematic type of a deck.
Yeah.
And being that it was a pod deck, tells me that the pods are working, and whoever came up with that was a good person.
Yeah. No, I think it's a solid. I think it's an interesting deck. I like that it exists in the meta. I don't know if it's. Oh wow, he can get any 1 card. That's.
Retrieve 1 card into hand.
Nice.
He doesn't move the clone.
I
don't know. Yeah. Tup should.
Well, that'll hit. Yeah, Tup hits.
Tarkin.
I don't love not moving the clone. Actually, what I would have liked to see is retrieve the. Well, I guess the Rebel Ambush wouldn't have helped with the clone you wanted to move in.
Ooh.
Slight weapons to add a Battle Destiny to boot. Ooh.
Ooh, that's what, 4 Destiny now?
Yeah, I mean, you got to choke out. Well, if you choke out Rex, it's back down to 2.
Nope, can't do it.
That was going to be the killer.
Yeah.
If he had the card to cancel that.
So he had the card to cancel it and a slight weapons malfunction there. That's insane.
And there's the GG.
There's the GG from Connor. So Connor will move to 5 and 4 this month.
That's. I like the idea of clones. I think there's a deck there. I think we'll see them at Worlds because there's so much going on. And I know AJ played them at Minnesota States, and I think he went 2-1.
Yeah.
And lost to Thrawn. And honestly, losing to Thrawn doesn't surprise me at all because it just peels those cards away.
Yeah.
And
you want to lose big
tough.
Destiny cards. And unfortunately,
and everything in clones, there's 3s. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're going to end it for tonight. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. It is always a fun time. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have more exciting stuff talking about Star Wars CCG. We'll definitely be talking about once Chris Kelly and the design team, as well as the competitive balance team, comes up with their decision on Ralphs. We'll definitely be talking about that. So, but until then, everybody stay cool. I don't know what the temperature is where you're at, Garrett, but stay cool. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, may the Force be with you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.